not going to use a Sawzall because, well, not my style, and I don't like the way it makes my arms feel. So we're going to use fire. And try not to tear up anything we don't want to tear up. But all that crap's got to come out anyway, so let's grab the liquid wrench and get some stuff done. All right, progress update. First torsion spring rod win goes to me. See? You see that smoke? Because I had to heat the tar out of it. Then with my trusty hammer, finally got it off there. So the rod is loose. Now, like I said, then this thing just pulls right out like that. See that hex? It's the same on both sides. And that is what helps keep it locked in there. Now, we've got a big old torsion bar. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but it's cool. All right, so I'm just gonna move on to the rest. Not gonna bore you with it, just gonna do it. All right, decided we're just gonna go ahead and start trimming a lot of this stuff off, at least get it to the point where all it's gonna take is a grinder, and at least then most of the junk is out of the way and we can move to the back and start working on that. So let's get to cutting. Boo. All right, update. All right, update. This bolt up here. It's too long to just come out. And the other one is like a fixed bolt inside the bracket, and it's limited by the AC unit, which makes this job a little bit tougher. Just trying to save and salvage parts, but I am not going to fight it for very long. That just is not gonna clear. The only thing I know to do to make my life a little easier, I'm gonna have to just cut it and blow it off there. And not even worry about it, which is too bad. I'm not taking that other crap loose to get it off there. We've got this all trimmed up, good enough for a grinder. I may do a little more up there. That section wraps around to the back side. Oh, it don't. Looks like it terminates. Well, it does, but it terminates a little bit on the back side. So I'll see what I can do with that. This is trimmed off, this is trimmed off. This will probably get trimmed off. And then I may just plate this whole thing to add some rigidity back in that. Obviously, I think I said earlier I was going to cut this out of the way, but I can't because it's the way that it is. I mean, the jack stands are under it, so that would be dumb. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go to the other side, finish cutting that stuff out of the way the best that we can, and then probably throw, let's see, we'll get some bolts, any residual bolts that are usable out of the way. We're going to sling some floor dry on my brake fluid mess and my power steering fluid mess over there, and let that start doing its thing, soaking up that junk. And we're going to kind of clean this area up, and we're going to go to the back, start the disassembly process all over, man. Lots to do, no shortage of work. Let's get at it. All right, we got things kind of cleaned up. Some floor dry out, take care of some of that brake fluid and some of the other fluids that were there. All that stuff shaved off. I may have shown you that. We'll have to go back and grind and clean all that stuff. All this stuff will grind off, all the residual. We are moving to the back to get the rear suspension out of this stuff, out of this thing. So we've got a few bolts. Let's see, we've got shock bolt. I just pulled that one. You got whatever this piece is, we're gonna unbolt it from there. Unbolt this radial arm or whatever it is from there. Got a couple brake lines, like a panhard bar, that's got to come loose. And as long as all the bolts come loose, it should come out. Oh, we got a couple sway bar links we got to do. Emergency brake cables got to be disconnected, things like that. But let's see what we can get done. That is going to be it for this video. Coming to an end. We've got done about all we were planning on getting done, and that was pretty much the disassembly. Now we've got more things, like we've got the old coil bucket hangers. They got to go. Let's see, the spare tires got to come out. This cross member's got to come out, and we got to figure out where we're going to lop this thing off, because this is going to get leaf springs. And I'm toying with the idea of airbag assist, but I haven't talked myself into it completely. Next video, we're going to have to harvest some leaf springs for the rear, figure out what we're going to do with the front. I'm thinking like a parallel 3-link or 4-link suspension in the front with coils, but we're just going to have to see. I've got lots of grinding and cleanup I got to do, and preparation I've got to get done, and at some point I'm gonna have to stop and see if I can make this engine. That's a big feat for me. So if you guys know anybody that you trust, preferably Central Indiana, that is comfortable with flashing the computer and doing the tuning, drop them down in the link. I'm sure you trust them, they got some good reviews, there's a good chance I may trust them as well. But we're gonna have to get the ball rolling on that, otherwise it's gonna be my biggest hangup. Other than that, I mean, there's other things that's got to change too. Fuel tank's got to come out. We're gonna do a fuel cell. We got to figure out what our finished wheelbase is gonna be. We've got work to do to the axles. Got to decide whether we're gonna shave the bottom of those or just pretend we're going to do it later and just skip it in order to get the job done. I haven't decided. I really want to move along. That stuff really takes a lot of time. So you either take the time to do it right, or you take too long and the job will just go stagnant. You'll either lose interest, money, or time. One of those things happen, and we don't want that to happen to this project. We want this thing up and running this year. But anyway, no brand. Appreciate every one of you guys, and you have a lot.